All right, and as we do get ready for the eclipse coming on Monday, a lot of people are wondering a few things. One, how you can take pictures during that time if we're supposed to be protecting our eyes. Number two, speaking of protecting our eyes, how do we know that our glasses are really legit? There are some ways to test those. And also, how might we emotionally feel if we're in the zone of totality and we see this total eclipse? Well, I caught up with Michael Narlock. He's the head of astronomy at the Cranbrook Institute of Science for the answers to those questions and more.
What makes a total eclipse so special?
That's a good question. Probably because people think they're very rare, but they're not. They're roughly 2 to 5 happen every year, but you have to be in a particular part of the Earth to see it. And the path doesn't always cut across the United States or through large population zones. So when it does, like it's cutting across the entirety pretty much of the United States, it creates quite the fervor. People want to see it. And it's usually one of those things that's on people's bucket lists. They want to see it before the end. And this was going to be a particularly nice one, I think.
What will happen in our 98 to 99% zone here in Southeast Michigan? What will we experience?
The sky will appear to darken a bit. At its peak, the sun will look like a bright fingernail in the sky. It may be dark enough to see some of the planets that I mentioned before. If you know exactly where to look, we're certainly going to have telescopes that are going to try and find them. It will not get dark enough to remove your protective wear, but it'll still be pretty nifty if it's clear out and you're looking up at the sky and all you see is a bright fingernail of the sun. That's still going to be an interesting and I think beautiful experience.
How should we take pictures during a partial eclipse, or if we're in the zone of totality, how do we take pictures?
I wouldn't with my phone. The cameras that we use are stopped down so that they're about 100,000 times less sensitive than a camera normally would be. There are commercially available films that you can get to cover your sensor on your phone, but as great as the technology is for iPhones, it's still a very tiny camera. It's a very tiny lens. It doesn't do the greatest. Pay attention to the sights and the sounds other than the sun and the sky. Pay attention to what else is going on, because it's a truly immersive experience to see how animals are reacting to it.
And humans, will we be emotional? Is there so much emotion tied up with an eclipse?
Humans generally are emotional. The universe is this great big thing that does whatever it does regardless of us. And now we get to witness this happen. And some of us are even lucky to be in the path of totality to witness it.
Stress again the importance of having the properly certified glasses.
Go to your local library, go to your local science museum. They have solar glasses that are right. And one of the ways you can test it, if you have a pair and you're not really sure if it's good or not, is put them on at home. Turn on a light in your kitchen and look at your light in your kitchen. You shouldn't really be able to see much. If you can see the outline of furniture just in your own house with your solar glasses on, they're not going to be very good solar eclipse glasses. If it passes that test, take it outside. Find a body of water and look at the glare of the sun on that body of water. You should be able to see the glare. You should be able to see that, but nothing else. If it passes those 2 tests, then you can be pretty confident that it's going to be okay to wear and look at the solar eclipse.